good afternoon, or should I say evening? It's early evening. And today I'm going to try for you guys AnCnoc cutter. Now, my experience with AnCnoc has only been the 12-year-old that I previously had. I don't think I did a review on it. I think it was long before I ever started doing reviews. But it was, to me, it was just an average single malt whiskey. This one is different. It's a non-age stated. It's different because it's peated. The AnCnoc Distillery does, which makes AnCnoc, does peated versions of whiskey. This one's named after the cutter. A cutter is a tool used to cut peat from a bog. The bogs in the Highlands, I guess, are not as wet as other places. So in this case, the tool's a little different for use in the Highlands where they cut peat. Where they cut peat in the Highlands. My gosh, can I get this out straight yet? Anyway, it is non-chill filtered, natural color. Again, no age stated, and this is 46% alcohol by volume. Yes, I got my notes here as well. I should just refer to that. They list the parts per million as 20.5 ppm, and I've read some other reviews where they say that is after it's bottled, and other people, I guess, measure before they bottle. I don't know. I don't understand it. There's what the inference was that, because this is 20.5 ppm and it's very peaty tasted, that the Laphroaig and Ardbeg and so on and so forth, which is a higher ppm, is higher because it's measured at a different point, for whatever that's worth. I don't know how true or not true that is. That's just what I've noted from some other things. It's just a nice peated Highland malt, and it's different from any other Highland peated malt I've ever had. And not that I have a lot of knowledge. I've got a Ben Reich right there, the Curiositas, and I've got an old Ballantron over there. Of course, I got the 17 peated cask, which is not very peaty. I've also got an Ardmore I've not yet opened. The original Ardmore, I understand there's a peated context to it as well. Anyway, I digress. It's interesting stuff. Let's get on with the tasting. Light gold, very light gold. Thin, fairly quick legs. There is some measure of viscosity to it, but it's not a heavy viscosity. Let's get on with the nose. Peat smoke up front. Surprise, surprise. And it's a strong peat smoke you get off this. This is not this is not like the Balvenie peated cask at all. This has a very strong peat note to it. Slightly medicinal. Pear, ginger. And there's a little saltiness to it. Again, peat, smoke, slightly medicinal. Not as heavily medicinal as a Laphroaig. Salty. The pear and the ginger carry through. There's a little honey. The ginger really comes through on this pretty well. There's a slight oak note to it. Then as it starts, and that's at the tail end of the palate, beginning of the finish. As the finish starts, Still carries some of that honey. Of course, you're getting the peat smoke. And there's a mintiness, though, that's there. Just a little light mintiness, not nothing overly dominant. A little honey, but that peat smoke just carries on and on and on. It lasts for some time. It's a good medium, over medium finish on it. All because the peat smoke just keeps carrying on. Again, in the palate, the oakiness. There's a little maltiness too. The youth brings the maltiness in it. You can taste it's a little young. But in a peated dram, youth is not a bad thing, I think. I've never minded young whiskeys at all. I know other people do. Me, it's never been a big issue. I gotta quit spinning on the chair. Overall, it's good. It's a good dram. It's really for non-age dated whiskey. I like it. 20.5 parts per million. I'm going to have to give it an 86 out of 100. Let's take one more taste because yeah, quit spinning in this chair. I get a new chair that spins, and I want to spin, spin, spin. At the tail end, with that oakiness and that maltiness, there is a little vanilla develops as it starts into the finish, and still carries that ginger though. There's pear. I get a pear there, but ginger's kind of comes through in spades, and that saltiness stays through the finish. It's pretty. Hey, it's good stuff. I like it. Let's put a little water in it real quick before I forget. I almost forgot. Let's put 3 in there. That's what I used the other day, and it seemed to work out pretty good at 3. Now the water still get the peat smoke and everything, but it's a little sweeter now on the nose. You get more of them honey flavors coming through on the nose. Now you get the vanilla and the honey up front with the pear. And the peat. That's not leaving. And the ginger's still there. And the saltiness. Ain't quite so salty with the water, though. Actually, it changes it. It brings that maltiness a little out more, too. Especially in the finish. Still carries some of the mintiness, but I find the maltiness is moving into the finish. It's pretty interesting stuff. I know I've seen online where a lot of people didn't give it very good at scores and this and that. They didn't think much of it. But in my book, it's an 86 out of 100. I think it's worth it. I gave sub $30 for this bottle. This bottle's normally $60, and they run a heck of a sale on it. And so I went ahead and took a chance and bought it. I've thought about buying it before, but I just never did. I'm glad I broke down and bought it. I may have to go see if they still got them on sale. I may be interested in getting another bottle. That is that interesting for a Highland Peated Malt. Well, remember, everybody, the spirit in your glass isn't running from you. Take your time, sip it, and enjoy it. You'll be better for it, as will we all. Everyone, have a good evening.